start, I just want to mention one thing which is important with regards to haram. पहले ज़माने में कोई हराम काम करता तो रोकने वाले भी होते थे, बताने वाले भी होते थे. At one time when an individual would do something haram, would do something wrong, then there were those people who would rebuke them, would tell them off, would remind them that this what you're doing is haram. ये जिस ज़माने में हम चल रहे हैं, ये वो ज़माना है कि बाप के आंखों के सामने बच्चे हराम कर रहे हैं, लेकिन वो बाप कहने के लिए तैयार भी नहीं है, डरता है. ये यानी we've come to a stage where never mind telling someone or reminding someone in the most gentlest manner that this is haram, बंदा डरता है. An individual is scared to even inform or to kind of put this forward that this is haram, this is not right. ये वो ज़माना है. And when this happens, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِن بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ عَلَى لِسَانِ दाऊद. दाऊद अलैहिस्सलाम की ज़बान पर इनके कौम को लानत दी गई थी कि कानू ला यतनाहौन अन मुनकरिन फ़अलू, कि उनके कम्युनिटी में, उनके मुआशरे में, उनके घरों में, उनके रिश्तेदारों में कोई ख़राब काम होता तो वो बताते तक भी नहीं. The ulama of Bani Israel, Allah forgive us, they used to say ये हराम है. लोगों को कहते थे कि ये हराम है. फिर जो है वो लोग हराम में मुब्तला है तो वो खुद ब खुद उस हराम वो उनके साथ जाके मेलजोल रखते थे. तो फिर क्या हुआ कि ये चूँकि मन तशब्बह बिक़ौमिन फहुवा मिनहुम, ये गुनाह एक ऐसी चीज़ है कि जितना करीब हम गुनाह से होंगे तो वो गुनाह में हम खुद ब खुद मुब्तला हो जाएंगे. So we need to start speaking out against haram. When haram is taking place in my home, when haram is taking place in my family, when haram is taking place in my community, when haram is taking place in my masjid, then it is my duty, and not only the duty of the ulama, every individual's duty to speak out against that haram. When we speak out against haram, ud'u ila sabili rabbika bil hikma wal maw'izati al hasana. हिकमत और मौइज़ा हसना, बेहतरीन अंदाज से हम हराम को हराम ही कहे, हराम को हराम ही कहे, बेहतरीन अंदाज से हिकमत के साथ. So when we are telling someone, when we are informing an individual that this is haram brother or this is haram sister, then it should be clear, no compromise, no sugarcoating. But yes, with wisdom, with good counsel, Allah Ta'ala wal maw'izatil hasana. We shouldn't put someone down now, we shouldn't shame someone up. But that does not mean, wisdom does not mean silence, by the way. हिकमत का ये मतलब नहीं है कि खामोशी, बल्कि बताना हमारा काम है. If we do not call haram out, then haram will enter into our lives. And once haram enters our lives, then Islam will go out of our lives. This is a principle. हम याद रखिए, हम जितना ज़्यादा अभी गिर रहे हैं दीन के एतबार से, तो अल्लाह हमारी हिफाजत फरमाए. If we do not work hard on really getting rid of those haram from our lives and the lives of our families, then we don't know what's going to happen to our children and our grandchildren. हम जाए, we need to just travel around the world and see those individuals who have left the deen. We are following the footsteps of their great grandparents and their grandparents. क्योंकि हम मेरे अजीजों, when something is wrong, we need to call it out. Yes, with wisdom, with muhabba, with love. We need to, with care, that I care for you, but my brother, this is haram, this will destroy you. My sister, this is haram, this will destroy you. अभी ये देखा गया है कि माँ है निकाब पहन रही है, बच्ची है हैवान की तरह चल रही है. ये कोई तरीका है? तो ये where's the अमर बिल मारूफ व नही अनिल मुनकर, ये जो हराम को हराम कहना और फिर उसकी तरफ, when someone does something, you have a business and someone's not doing their job properly, what are you going to do? No, I'll make you the CEO of my business. Are you going to do that? So why is it when it comes to matters of deen, then no, we're all fine, we're brothers and sisters, we're all fine. There needs to be some level of sensitivity. We need to be sensitive towards the matters of deen. Allah has made something haram. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was the most merciful. When something haram would happen before his eyes, he would get angry. It would anger him. Now when we become angry, we're like, why are you judging me for? Why are you judging me for? Iman is in my heart, right? No. No one is judging you, brother. No one is judging you, sister. But what you are doing is completely against the deen of Allah. What you are doing is completely against the order of Rasulullah, the order of Allah in the Quran. And we have been instructed to inform you. So ye bahut zaruri hai mere azizo. It's very important. We need to, haram is haram, clear cut, we need to call it out. And when we have a habit of doing this, we'll be able to bring back that purity back into our community. At the moment what's happening is because everyone's keeping their mouths shut, right? So I see haram, I'm seeing some haram taking place, and I'll just keep my mouth shut. So then everyone's going to do it. Everyone's going to do it. So then I'm part of it. I'm also part of that haram. Because passively I've supported it. So मेरे अजीज़ों अल्लाह ताला हमारी हिफाजत फरमाए, अल्लाह ताला हमारे घरों की हिफाजत फरमाए. अल्लाह ताला कभी हमें ऐसे, Allah never shows that day when we can't even tell our own children that this is haram, beti, this is haram, this is not. And along with explaining to them that something is haram, we need to be able to logically give them a reasoning. Because we're living at a time where our children and our communities, we need to be able to somehow justify our choice. Because ye jo abhi Qatar mein, everyone knows about this. That did I mention it last week? That woman who she said, "Oh look, I'm here at the stadium. I'm here at the stadium. But look, they're making us special treatment. We've got a separate entrance for the women." And she ridiculed it and mocked it. But then the backlash was, then alhamdulillah, so much good came out from it. Right? The good that came out from it was everyone got to see the beauty of parda system. Everyone got to see the beauty of having a separate entrance. Because when you don't have a separate entrance, what happens? Tell me, what happens? When you're walking into a stadium, thousands and thousands of people are walking. Where does harassment take place? In those places. So and this is the problem. If we don't call haram out, then people will start to call halal out. Right? तो ये हलाल है, ये फर्ज है, लेकिन गैर जो है उसको बुरा कह रहे हैं. और हम हैं कि हराम को हराम भी नहीं कह सकते हैं, इतने डरपोक हो गए हैं. तो मेरे अल्लाह ताला हमें सही समझ अता फरमाए. लेकिन इसने गलती की थी. She posted it, and then the backlash was that, look, you at one time also said that you were sexually abused or harassed at your workplace. These Muslims, what they are trying to do is the reason there is a segregation here or a separate entrance is to protect you and your chastity. So you say, bacha liya. Then now everyone's minds open up. And just recently the Times also published a report about how happy the women are, that they feel secure sitting in the stadium. So this is our deen. We have an amazing deen, a beautiful deen, but if we do not inform ourselves, our children, of the logical reasoning behind why we do what we do, then what will happen is someone will say, why are you wearing the hijab for? Why are you wearing the hijab for? It's oppression. So if she was always told that it's farz, she's going to scratch her head and think, yeah, that's true, I think it's oppression. Why are you at home for? Why are you a housewife for? Isn't that oppression? So then she also scratch her head and that's true. Isn't that oppression? But why don't we give them the beauty of Islam and why Islam says this? Then they'll be able to justify their own choice, inshallah. तो मेरे अजीज़ों, इत्तक़िल महारिम तकुन अअबदन नास. रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम ने फरमाया, हराम से बचो तो फिर तुम, और हराम से उस वक्त हम बचेंगे जब हराम को हम हरामी कहेंगे. We will be able to only save ourselves from haram when we call haram haram. अभी वो हमारे यहाँ हराम इस तरह हो गया है कि उसको न करो तो फिर जो है ना, if you don't do haram, then you're like the odd one out. You're the odd one out. So there's no music in your event. Then how can there be no music in your event? How can there be no music in your wedding? I don't understand. Right? If there's no dancing in your wedding, then how can there be no dancing? Like, I don't understand. Or if there's no mixing, then how can there be no mixing? ये क्या है? ये कैसे wedding में हम आए कि मर्द एक तरफ औरत एक तरफ? ये इस तरह हो गया. This is what's happening to halal. So we need to call it out. We need to explain. Yeah. उदउ इला सबील रब्बिक बिल हिकमा वल मौइज़तिल हसना. हिकमत का ये मतलब नहीं है कि हम खामोश रहे. हिकमत का ये मतलब है कि हम अच्छे अंदाज से, खूबसूरत अंदाज से हम एक दूसरे को हम समझाएं. We should never look down at anyone when giving them advice, when informing them. We shouldn't shame someone up in front of everyone. हाँ, कोई खुल्लम खुल्ला गुनाह कर रहा है तो उसकी भी इजाजत है। कोई अगर खुल्लम खुल्ला गुनाह करे तो सबके सामने कहना कि ये हराम है, ये इसकी भी इजाजत है, क्योंकि उसका खुल्लम खुल्ला गुनाह करना लोगों के जहन को खराब कर रहा है। तो अगर कोई कह दे कि ये हराम है, राइट, तो फिर लोग भी ये हो जाएंगे कि ये हराम कर रहा है। तो अल्लाह ताला हमें हराम से हमारी हिफाजत फरमाए।